shit, that was on the mic. Whoops.
I go touch a narcotics. Pull up in a new Rari.
Skirt.
Living like John got it.
The mall.
Chopping bricks like karate. I go punch a cold.
Fuck is all these new buttons?
Serving to the dope fiends. They smoke. Blowing money, stay clean. Free man. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Got a Panamera on a young nigga hit. Porsche. Got a young bitch. Pull it up in a bitch. Smoke a lot of kush. And I have a lot of dick. Had to beat a grind or ran on my chick. Bitch, a nigga get money. Nigga get bad. Hold up, running. Nigga sell a lot of crack. You can hear that nigga. What you want? I get
That kick sucks.
I did pull it up or don't. Need it 1,000 on your watch. Young nigga splurge. I'm a ace spade.
Whatever.
People young nigga working that up was a K. I'ma take a phone call hustle every day. I ain't like a bunch of narcotics. Pull up in that new Rari. Living like John got it.
Chopping bricks like karate. Welcome to the motherfucking news underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism, and this is the #1 source for news on Twitch. All you had to do was look at the bottom of the barrel, and there it is. The realness. Welcome back, #1 of the chat. Clutch Cargo. OG in this motherfucker.
At the same time,
That's your hoe.
calling from 2 different phones.
Different phone. Tell that bitch leave me the fuck alone.
See you fuck around.
And I fuck alone.
I got a love-hate relationship with Miley. I'd rather pop a ollie. And my dick is the trolley. Boy, I bury you like Holly.
All right, big props to DJ Young Vamp with Godfather. Doing some pretty heavy sampling there. Hold up in that new Rari. Skirt. And then we have Red Chimp. Made, I don't know if this is made by Justine Moore. Maybe she's reposting it. This is an AI created video about a 1980s, 1990s sitcom where Gandalf, a kitty, and what is this, a possum? They just possum named Bread Clip, who wears a Mickey Mouse style wizard hat. They just have adventures. I mean, it's this is it. This is the future. This is the future, right? We will get here. We're not going to get there for a little while there, though, right? We're kind of jumping the gun. It's kind of almost like, those we were calling those electric scooters hoverboards. Remember that shit? We still do. Right? Nothing hover about it. It felt like a hoverboard. Kind of jumped the gun a little bit. But the future of entertainment, it'll be a style of entertainment because, curated, linear, made by another human art is never going to go away. Don't think that one thing will replace the other. But this will be a type of entertainment where you sit down, you type Gandalf, possum, cute kitty, 1990s sitcom, and then hit enter. And then you watch your program. You watch the thing that you just made. Well, you didn't make it. You inspired it, I guess. You asked for it. Then the machine makes it for you in real time. Animates it, voice acts it, scripts it, directs it. And right now, it's all rather rudimentary. In 20 to 30 years, it's going to be frighteningly good. It is interesting right now, though, because there is no killer app for AI right now. And all these companies that are, billions and billions of dollars invested, they can't find the killer app. The big thing that I've heard that it's really game changing is in programming, where get. I think they have this something called Copilot, and it's you still need to know how to code. You still need to know how to do things from the ground up, but kind of like a construction worker, he gets to tell robots to do all the boring shit, just the kind of tedious shit, but it needs to be done, solid foundational stuff, right? So he tells the robots to do that, but he gets to focus on making the house beautiful and, adding things here and there, and he's telling the robot to do this and he's telling the robot to do that, and he makes this beautiful home. But he makes the machines do all the tedious stuff. It's the same thing with programming. And then, of course, the architect looks over the robot's work, makes sure the work is correct, make sure the robots don't make any mistakes. And the longer things go along, he can depend on the robots to not make mistakes. So that's kind of where it's been a game changer. I've heard programmers say there's really no going back. Once you've started using these tools to do the tedious stuff, it's a game changer. It's like you're never going to want to do it any other way because it's so tedious and boring the other way. Megan Fox picked up Czech Republic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I will not use them. No, you won't have a choice. They'll be integrated into your life just like computers. I will be left behind. No, you'll be dragged kicking and screaming. Till they depend too much on the bot and a huge mistake happens. Oh, and there will be. But there's really no going back, because the going back means tedium, more expensive tedium, more time wasted. Anyway, I've ranted long enough. Welcome back, everybody. Clutch Cargo, Ice King of Space, Sir Smoke a Lot Denmark, and Chem Goblin. We're going to be jumping into world news, and then we're going to give ourselves nightmares and talk about Gaza and Palestine. I saw James O'Brien from LBC in the UK talk about this, and man, I related, because I'm no James O'Brien, but I kind of do what he's doing, a little bit, right? I can't touch his brilliance, but he was talking about how the Palestine situation, the Gaza Strip situation, is so horrifying, is so disgusting. The images that you see are some of the most heartbreaking images I've ever seen in my life, almost always having to do with children. And of course, the latest image I saw was a child whose head had been completely disassembled, and basically all you saw was a hollow brain pan. And if you've ever wanted to see the inside of a child's brain pan, the inside of their skull, you could go ahead and check out the Discord. Everyone loves the Discord. On a daily basis, and it becomes so incredibly traumatizing and tiring that you just stop. You just I can't do it today. I have too much shit I need to do. I can't have this image in my head. I can't let this psychically bring me down today. That's how brutal it is. I mean, imagine the United States going into Vietnam and seemingly targeting locations with a lot of children and killing tens of thousands of children. And then every single day on TV, Walter Cronkite showed pictures of dead kids getting pulled out of rubble. And it's like, nobody can handle that. No human being is, no healthy human being is capable of absorbing that much violence. And it benefits Israel, doesn't it? It's this brutal bad actor taking advantage of the fact that we're all, human beings, and they're not, when it comes to how they treat Palestinians, at least. It's not fair to say. I'm gonna get in trouble saying that. Specifically referencing Zionists. Okay, not all Israelis, but that doesn't matter. Clip it out of context.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
It's over. All right, let's get into it. World news. Mexico here. We're going to start with Mexico. All these guys with these crazy fucking names. So this is kind of old news. Yeah, this is like 4 weeks ago. Some of this news is a little bit old, early on. Don't worry, I got modern stuff coming up. But I had to talk about this because the guy's name is El Mayo. I don't think it's referencing mayonnaise, but I don't know. So another drug cartel guy gets swept up here. He's got a funny name. Let's watch this for a little bit.
You're live with BBC News. One of the world's most powerful drug cartel leaders appeared in a Texas federal court on Friday. Ismael El Mayo Zambada, leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, pleaded not guilty on all charges after being arrested by U.S. federal agents in Texas on Thursday. The 76-year-old founded the criminal organization with Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who is currently jailed in the U.S. Also arrested Thursday alongside Mr. Zambada was the son of the notorious El Chapo Guzman, Joaquin Guzman Lopez. American prosecutors say the Sinaloa cartel is the biggest supplier of drugs to the United States. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland spoke earlier about the cartel leaders' arrests, saying they were responsible for America's fentanyl epidemic.
No, and you know, arresting these people is going to fix this problem, right? I mean, that's the whole point. We spend millions and millions of dollars going after these guys and taking them out and bringing them in and showing them justice, right? And every time we arrest one of them, less drugs come into the United States, right? Right? Right. Yeah, we need to get... Yeah, we need to get El Mustard, El Ketchup, El Sandwich Meat. Make ourselves an El Sandwich. No, in all seriousness here. You know, Bill Hicks said it best. Bill Hicks has the most amazing thing about the war on drugs. He's like, you know, we lost to a bunch of drug addicts, and we continue to lose. So, you know, I don't know, guys. I don't know if the multi-million-dollar, look, do these cartel monsters deserve to be arrested, thrown in jail for the rest of their life? Without a doubt. Hardest of the hardcore criminals, some of the most disgusting human beings on planet Earth. The atrocious things that they do to children, the atrocious things that they do to women to make their little points. Reaches the heights of violence and brutality that, you know, you really only see you know, in the battlefields. Really disgusting stuff. They deserve to be in jail. The thing that would suck the power out of their entire organization is exactly what Sir Smoke-A-Lot here says. Legalize it. You got to legalize it and regulate it. You know, you can regulate things. A bartender, you know, the alcohol, right? A bartender is legally not allowed. And this might not be the case in Ukraine. I don't know how it works there. But a bartender in the United States is not allowed to overserve you. Right? He just can't sit there and you can't, you know, hand over alcohol and high quality alcohol until you fucking pass out and die. Can't do that. And I think he's not allowed to actually let you drive your car either. I think there's probably laws in some places that make the bartender somewhat culpable. I'm just trying to say is that if we had, you know, legal cocaine, legal heroin, you know, legal everything, and we regulated it, that doesn't necessarily mean all of society is going to get addicted and that all of society is going to be able to be addicted, right? Because you can regulate certain. There's like, you know, you're allowed to buy 5 grams of heroin a month or something, right? A regulation. I don't know how you do that. Would you have a heroin welfare card? Keep it track. Look, I mean, it's better than the alternative, which is a completely unregulated pharmaceuticals market taking advantage of, you know, poor and desperate people. That's wildly out of control. You know, you can take as much heroin as you want, lace it with whatever you want. That's the alternative. That's what we currently have, a completely wildly unchecked, unregulated market that, this style of enforcement has proven to be ineffectual, right? Tough guys kicking down doors and, all right, we got him. We got El Guzman. We got El Mayo. We got El Pickles. Just got to get El Lettuce. And what comes of it? Jack and shit. Jack and shit. That's what comes of it. Just because, there's an El Mayo too. I'm the vegan. I'm what do they call that? Veganese. I'm El Veganese. Mayo the sequel. Senior Salami. They'll never get El Goblino. It's, it never ends. And let me tell you something. You don't think law enforcement is aware of that? You don't think the people inside, there's actually a lot of cop drama, a lot of writing about how ineffectual some of this stuff is, right? Sometimes that'll be like the bittersweet ending to some of these cop dramas, right? Well, we locked him away, and then they go outside and the drug crime problem, nothing has changed, That's kind of the ending of The Wire. Spoiler alert. Right? He kind of realizes, shit, man, this game doesn't stop.
Fentanyl is the deadliest drug threat our country has.
Okay, yeah. U.S. fear-mongering on fentanyl, yeah, but we're not gonna really do enough about it to actually yada yada yada. Okay, so this is old news. I just wanted to make fun of the guy's name. If you want the full story, it's right here. But they got another one. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yeah, okay. Drug problem fixed. Fentanyl problem fixed. I don't want to look at this motherfucker's face right now. Merrick Garland, you fucking suck. You fucking suck. Merrick Garland. Ineffectual. Weak. Refusing to do your fucking job. Just don't give me your fucking speech. Drugs are bad. Drug rate drops to 0. You got him. Like, where do you get it at? I've never even seen any fentanyl. Well, usually you're not taking fentanyl directly. It's actually it's used in the medical industry. Pregnant women are given fentanyl during really hard births. So it's they're given the proper medical dosage, which is a micron. It's like, this stuff is unbelievable. If you take just a few grains, like a grain of sand, right? You take a few of them, you're dead. You feel better than you've ever felt in your life, but you also die. All right, moving on to the next story here. Nicolas Maduro announces the preparation of re-education camps to imprison detained demonstrators. Yikes. Yikes. The Chavista regime has launched a manhunt against opponents who denounce electoral fraud. So once again, this is a little old. Sorry, August 1st. Dictator Nicolas Maduro announces preparations for 2 maximum security prisons for detained protesters, which will serve as a de facto re-education camps, according to the socialist leader's own words. My God, no. This Mao shit, the Lenin shit, Stalin shit. Not really as much Lenin, right? He was killed before he could do as much damage as Stalin did. None of these motherfuckers follow Trotsky. None of these motherfuckers follow Trotsky. They look at the worst motherfuckers and they go, yeah, that's me. I want to be that guy. Let's not be the intellectual. Let's not be the principled one. And his entire country stands up and leaves everywhere else. And he's like, what you guys doing? I'm going to be a dictator without people to dictate. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be nice? If like human beings reacted to dictatorships like they do annoying people or something, like they just immediately started, if someone was acting dictatorial, like they just immediately had a reaction to it, like, puking and you smell something nasty. Welcome back, Arbitor. It's good to see you. In an announcement televised by his propaganda channel VTV, Maduro affirmed that he will be preparing 2 jails that they must have ready in 15 days. They're already being repaired. All of the Guarambiros, protesters who oppose the fraud, are going to Tocoron and Tokiyuto maximum security prisons. added the dictator in reference to the two prisons that for years were under the control of criminal gangs till the regime recovered them last year in two different interventions.
Y me garantizan la misión que les di.
Venezuela is now a Stalinist police state, according to this guy on Twitter. Maduro then proceeded to announce the number of captured demonstrators, stating in advance that all of them would go to prisons. We have more than 1,200 captured, and we're looking for 1,000 more. We're going to catch them all because they were trained in the United States and Texas. So, yeah, that's the thing. The West is trying to destabilize us. We're going after them. Toki Ito. Thank you, Snowmo. Bro. Doing heroin is like drinking. Just make sure your kids don't see. Yeah. Yeah. Daddy, why are you just standing there? Do not Google Venezuela inflation. Worst mistake in my life. Standing. That is the weirdest thing that those heroin addicts do. Man, it's weird. All right. Anyway, pretty nasty shit. What? I mean, do we have any? Is there anything new? I probably should have had this queued up, but I'm kind of curious now after reading this. Some tunage, man. Yeah. So what the hell's going on with Nicolas Maduro? Latest from Nicolas Maduro. All right. So here's an update. Al Jazeera.
Amid increasing pressure for Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro to prove that he did indeed win last month's contested elections, he is demanding that the National Assembly fast-track the approval of a law that would give authorities additional powers to target political opponents.
Right.
It's called the Law Against Fascism, Neo-Fascism, and Other Similar Expressions, which would allow the state to imprison, fine, and or confiscate property from people or organizations.
See, this is why it's a slippery slope. Because it depends on the definitions. You know, because I don't believe fascism deserves free speech. You know, like what Germany does when people do a Sieg Heil, and you know they got they make sure people can't display the swastika everywhere. You know, that's okay. But one man's fascism is another man's democracy, right? But does that, should we question our own principles just because Nicolas Maduro is dishonestly redefining what fascism is, right? Any challenge to his government, he would define as fascism. So his redefinition, political redefinition, shouldn't bother us. He's wrong.
That are considered to be promoting violence and hatred in their political activities.
You all know what fascism is. It's hatred, intolerance turned into violence. That's why I've asked the National Assembly to quickly approve this law.
Andres Isarra, a former member of Maduro's cabinet, now in self-imposed exile, calls it the legal basis for a dictatorship.
Yeah.
The Nazi Germany had the Nuremberg laws, and now this law against fascism, which is basically gives the government power to go against anything. You know, anything they want to call fascist, they'll go against. Although you can very easily claim that the fascists are in government.
This comes on the heels of last week's approval of a law that would substantially curtail and control NGOs, such as those that monitor human rights violations, unlawful arrests, and state corruption. Government opponents and the UN rapporteur for Venezuela were quick to describe the law as a further erosion of the rights of civil society in Venezuela. Amnesty International says, quote, it will jeopardize the very existence and functioning of community, humanitarian, and human rights organizations with its ambiguous articles.
Of course it does.
Maduro is not alone. His close ally, President Daniel Ortega...
Where are these organizations saying that shit, though, about the changes that was made to the Supreme Court, though? You know what I mean? No one's calling out the U.S. for its massive slide into authoritarianism.
of Nicaragua closed down 1,500 NGOs just this week and has been confiscating buildings, equipment, and other property belonging to non-government organizations, including the Catholic Church.
Anything that challenges his power. We've seen this before. This is the template, dude. It's like it's out of the manual, man. The guy has the fucking manual on his desk.
For several years. Meanwhile, the European Union says it will not recognize Maduro's electoral victory.
Of course not.
We can't accept unverifiable results.
International pressure, however, has so far failed to persuade Maduro to turn over the vote tallies. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera.
Yeah, well, the whole fake president bullshit didn't really help. You know what I mean? The whole, like, the United States declaring a new president of Venezuela and then having him live in absentia, doing news interviews with him. It's intolerance turned into violence. That's why I'm going to do it first. Yes, Sussy. Everyone likes to point that out. Okay, yes, okay. Literally every news source we watch is paid for by someone with a bias, someone with a fucking agenda. Okay, Sussy McSussface, for the love of God, you know what I mean? Like everyone, I'm not trying to call you out. You seem nice, but yes, it's owned by Qatar. DW is owned by Germany. CNN and fucking MSNBC are owned by right-wing oligarchs. You know, Democracy Now! Has its own bias, even though it's basically funded publicly. You got Amy Goodman over there still doing interviews with Scott Ritter. Amy Goodman can't let go of her biases, on and on and on and on and on. Okay? The goal of this stream is to take it all in as much as we can, right? Because we're masochists, because we're trying to change the world here. And try to bullshit detect our way through to find the truth, right? We're all just in a dark room, just kind of trying to find the fucking truth here. But yes, this is Qatari. I don't know if it's Qatari state media. Maybe it is actually in Qatar. Yeah, it might be Al Jazeera. That would make sense. So I listen to NPR. I'm a masochist. God, and talk about bias. Good God, the bias on NPR. Oh my God. Intolerable, unlistenable sometimes on NPR. The bias towards status quo, corporate neoliberalism. It says in the blue blocks under the video. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh yeah. And I'm perfectly okay with this. I think this is great. I wish all social media did this. I think this is transparency. This is who's funding this? Where's this coming from? I love this. I think this is great. Should happen for everybody. Well, there you go. Venezuela news. Interesting stuff. Dictatorship. Fucking dictatorship. It's a boring, bog standard dictatorship. Now, does that give the United States to declare a new president and coup the fuck out of the place? And no. Look, does that mean that the United States can stay silent and it has to stay away and just let it fester and do whatever the hell it wants? No. The United States can find a nice happy medium, but what it has to do is it has to do it right out in the open and say, hey, there are some pro-democracy groups in Venezuela that have asked for money, and we are happy to support them. They are nonviolent, they are peaceful. Their aim is to create a constitutional democracy. We as Americans support that, so we support them, and we're happy to support that out in the open. We're not trying to hide our support for these things. Instead of all this goofy fucking, wet work, militaristic, fucking clandestine, operations, trying to 1960s finagle this shit. Stop. Okay? Stop. Avoid is Sky News Australia, and it's like open fashion. I mean, I have a Sky News thing queued up for the UK section that I'm going to do next week. We look, I acknowledge every news station's bias, and I try to pick it out. I try to filter through it. I try to call it out as best I can. And please, in the chat, call it out as well. Right? Because that's the right attitude to have, which is like, what's the angle? What's the quid pro quo? Who's making, follow the money, right? Who's this benefiting? How is this narrative benefiting who, right? That's how you got to filter that shit out, So it's the right mentality to have. But I don't know if you're trying to call me out or something, right? Because it's really funny when people are like, oh yeah, look at this liberal watching MSNBC, and then and then the next clip is like, from fucking the fucking Kyiv Independent, and then the next one's from Australia, and the next one's from Canada. We all the sources, man, all the fucking sources. Russia Today reporting on where Russia is not today. In fact, that's so true. Yeah, if you want to do real journalism, of course, before the invasion, I don't understand why they folded up RT when they needed it the most to defend the invasion. Maybe because all the hosts were like, we quit. We're not really going to defend this. We're going to criticize Russia for their invasion. Maybe that's why they shut it down. But it was really neat. As long as you weren't talking about Russia or anything connected to Russia, RT would fully fund like real independent progressive journalism. And we got some good shit, dude. We got Abby Martin. We got Jesse Ventura. We got some good shit out of that. When are they going to make Goblin News? As soon as you start streaming, buddy. Here's the channel to sub to. They're like the Guardian in that they don't have a bias. That's not, everyone has a bias. Even I got my biases. Of course I do. Channel 4 News. Yeah, Channel 4 News is all right. And look, I'm already fucking subscribed, boy. I'm the motherfucking news maniac, okay? I am the news psychopath, okay? You've never met a streamer like me. You've never met a political streamer like me. I'm the realest motherfucker on planet Earth, and I'm a crazy motherfucker when it comes to news. Anyway, talking about crazy, mass brawl in Turkish parliament. I don't know if you saw this a couple weeks ago, but this is something else. It's funny, but it's also really sad. Your stream is not going to be news. That's fine. You do you, buddy. As long as you're putting in the work somehow for political activism, for political change. Yahoo! Well, we got to slow this down. Oh, hold on. We got to slow this down. This is happening way too fast. There's way too many motherfuckers in this. Okay, we got to slow this down. Yeah, you don't have to stream politics, but you do have to participate in political activism. Yes. Oh, don't shame me. What are you gonna mean? You're gonna shame me? Yeah, no. If you are a citizen of a country and you are not participating, in the work of a citizen, yeah, you're failing your country and you're failing yourself and you're failing your kids and you're failing your kids' fucking future. Look at what the actions of the boomer generation have done to the United States. Nothing but greed and avarice and take, and tax cuts and tax cuts and tax cuts, cutting down trees instead of growing trees that you'll never see. We need to participate in our society. We need to take citizenship seriously. We have responsibilities. It sucks. Our parents, and our parent, not the greatest generation, right? But our parents, the boomers, Gen Xers, kind of so 50-50 on this one. What great quality. Yeah, let's shift it to fucking potato quality here. But they didn't think about any of this shit. They didn't think about the future. They thought about themselves. They thought about retirement. They're spending all their money. Greed, greed, greed. Wow, dude, this is a brawl, bro. No, it's not all boomers either. We have some amazing clued in, plugged in, fully aware boomers that come to this stream, the OGs, right? Oh, dude, you see that one? Yo, dude. Oh, mama, that was a fucking haymaker. One more time on that one. Right here, bald guy, right here. Blap! Yes! Oh, that felt good. Oh! Get him! Oh, he missed it. Oh, he whiffed it, bro. Whiffed it. Look. Oh, one more time. Right here. Oh, terrible form, too. He's doing one of these. First punch he's swung in, since elementary school. Wow, dude, this is like one of those crazy magic eye posters or something, right? You could just there's so much going on, bro. This is crazy. Oh shit. Wow. Just keeps going too. Let him fight. Kazuma Kiryu. He takes a chair and he's like blasting people into the wall. If you've never played Yakuza, that's a Yakuza reference. Oh shit, she's throwing some paper. Oh shit. They need a band playing. Oh no, I got it right here. I got it right here. Oh, it's epic. They're still going. There's some of them still going. Okay. One more time, full speed. One more time, full speed. With the volume. Man, it was just, there's so much going on. It's hard to absorb it all. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's do some cocaine and get in a bar fight at the parliament. Oh, man. The paper. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I'm helping. Calm down. I'm helping. Man, thinking Sabercat, you're loading it up. You want to, I'd love to, oh, we got blood on the fucking floor, dude. Oh shit. Thinking Sabercat, you should absolutely come into the Discord and post some of this stuff in the Discord so that I can queue it up and have it ready for the next stream. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the... well, that's the same link. Is this the same thing? You just sent me... Wait, okay. Did I not click copy on yours? That must be it. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. This is my link. But yeah, Sabercat. No, that's the same fucking link. What the fuck? It's literally the same video. What the hell are you doing? You're freaking me out, man. And Italy. What are you talking about? This was Italy? This is a completely... Oh my God, I thought that was the same fucking video. Holy shit, you're kidding me. The same exact shit went down in Italy. Oh shit. Woo! Come on, girls. I thought this was the same video looking at the thumbnail. World peace, guys. We got it. It's the Fukuyama was right, bro. Fukuyama was right, bro. It's the end of history, bro. We're doing it. We got it all figured out, bro. I legitimately looking at the thumbnail, I legitimately thought this was the same fucking video. Just like at a glance, Is this the democracy we hear so much about? I bet you there was some pushing and shoving and stuff during the Constitutional Convention that we never really heard about, I bet there was some scandalous shit that went down. These guys are like nasty though. They're like grabbing at each other's face and everything, man. Well, thank you for that link, Thinking Sabercat. That's totally appropriate. So I guess if I was a responsible journalist, I would get into the reasons why this is happening, but I really don't have time. So I'm just going to quietly move on. I will find some time maybe next weekend to fish out some videos to get a little context of what the hell's going on here. So I'm actually going to hold on to this video. This is totally wild, though. I need to actually make part of this. I need to do an intro for my YouTube channel, and I was thinking about, getting these chaotic political clips, so I definitely need to get this one. Same shit did go down even in ancient Greece. Yeah. It's not good for democracy. It's not a good look at all. With that said, is it the harbinger of the death of democracy? I don't think so. We should hire a guy into every parliament in the world who would play Freebird solo. He's just sitting there with a guitar. He got like a pipe. He's got a guitar and a pipe. He's just waiting. He's just waiting. I'm as free as a bird now. I'm gonna slam at people. Fuck yeah.
Bangladesh
dude.
authorities have.
Okay, so this is some real news here. Enough joking around, motherfuckers. Bangladesh student leaders arrested for their own safety. So there's the United States is not doing a good job of, I've talked about this before, but the way that the United States does geopolitics, world, politics, relationships with other countries, it's my way or the highway. You either have something to offer us and we'll do some kind of trade, or fuck you. Languish. Be mediocre. We're not going to help you. Maybe some aid, maybe some aid money, whatever, right? Which in its way kind of creates this. It's a whole other controversy, right? How sometimes aid is used as a weapon in a way, but it just sucks. Because they're really it's laughable. It's laughable, and it's like, wow, why are you so cynical? But no, it's laughable to think that the United States empire gives a shit about democracy, especially in other countries. It's just a fact. And it's like, I know I sound cynical. I know it's dark. But when you look at the actions of the military industrial complex and the United States government, like I said, in relationships with some of these countries, it's my way or the highway. You're going to help us out or you're going to get out of our way. So what I'm trying to say is that we're seeing some of these bigger countries. We're seeing some, Russian influence, Chinese influence coming in, and we're seeing them switch allegiances because we're not hooking them up. The relationship with the United States is not as potentially beneficial as their relationship, as these new relationships with China and Russia. That is bad. That is bad. We want to be friends with these countries. We want to work with these countries. We don't want Putin to have another pal. So we got to step up our game. Trump was a complete failure when it came to geopolitics. Biden, status quo Biden, not changing a fucking thing. We need some legitimate diplomatic outreach, some real carrots, some real big fat carrots, right? At the end of those sticks. We're really dropping the ball. And let me tell you something, Putin's picking up the pieces. The allegiances that he's making all over the world, it's like anytime something's going down in another country, oh, there's Wagner. Oh, there's Russian money. Oh, there's a Russian oligarch. Oh, there's a direct connection to the fucking Kremlin. They can't all be Dwight Eisenhower. We got to do better. We got to do better, okay? We can't be resting on our laurels and just expecting our power to eventually change people's minds. We need to show up and be better geopolitically.
Taking 3 student leaders into custody in a move officials say was, quote, for their own safety. Student protest groups say the leaders were taken away by plainclothes detectives, I should say, after being forcibly discharged from hospital. The government has blamed student protests against civil service job quotas for days of deadly nationwide unrest. Some 150 people were killed in an army crackdown on the protest.
I gotta say, I don't know how effective this camouflage is going to be. I don't know how many. What are these colors? What the hell is this? What are these guns? What is this color? What are they? Is it like red clay battlefield? Some kind of desert red clay? Alien planet? Mars? What is this camo configuration? I'm sorry. What the hell is this? 1930s carbines? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Hey, what up, French teacher? Uh-oh. Looks like we got ourselves maybe a Russian bot here. It's a cool avatar. Maybe it's just a bear. Maybe it's just a nice big old bear. Actually, India's prime minister is actually trying to get a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, which is very much an only Nixon can go to China moment. You buying that shit? You're buying that shit, Sabercat? Modi? You think Modi is trying to get a real peace between Russia and Ukraine? No shit. You think Modi is telling Putin, you got to pull out? You got to get out of the Donbass? You got to just focus on negotiating on Crimea? You got to get out of the Donbass? Yeah, India's a nuclear power. Whoop-de-doo. What the fuck did nukes have to do with anything? Whoop-de-doo. They got some nukes rotting away in the fucking ground somewhere. Whoop-de-doo. I don't mean to talk down from you. I'm from Russia. Hey, how about you get the fuck out of Ukraine, buddy? How about you tell all of your fellow Russians to get the fuck out of Ukraine? How about you do me that favor? Also, they're very rich. That is 100% true and very relevant. All right, back to this. What the fuck is this camo?
Earlier this month, which started in universities and colleges.
Called SKS.
Joining me now from Dhaka is activist Prapti Taposhi. She's a student at Jahangir University. Hello.
University. I thought she was going to be in high school, man. The older I get, people in their 20s look like children to me. It's weird, dude. It's fucking weird. But like, I can't tell anymore. I thought she was in high school.
Prapti, what more can you tell us about the 3 student activists who have been detained?
Okay, so the first thing is, thank you so much for letting me speak something. The 3 coordinators who has been the DB or the Detective Branch of Police has finally admitted that they're in their custody. But we have to know that they were in the hospital. They were already in the custody of Detective Branch of Police, and they, with civilians, in the civilian dresses, they kind of abducted our 3 coordinators, and the family of the coordinators can reach them, can talk to them, and they have been in inhuman sorrows and pressures. And when I want to say that I will also
inhuman sorrows and pressures. Boy, that's almost poetic. Yeah, Cruiser, I just fucking timed him out. I don't know how to speak English. I'm from Russia. Let me go ahead. The next sentence was going to be some fucking Putin propaganda. I guarantee it.
Address to the fact that right now the students of Bangladesh is living in a war zone. They are living in complete terror, complete fear, because likewise our 3 coordinators, the normal students, the students who were in the roads for protesting, they are being abducted from their home. They are being abducted. They are being picked up from the roads. And the most terrifying fact is that the police, the detective branch, the law enforcement agency is not even acknowledging that they are being abducted or they are being picked up. The families of the students are searching for them. There is still numerous students that the family couldn't find a trace of them still when I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Right. It's a grim picture you're painting there. I mean, regarding the 3 detained student leaders, the government says it needs to interrogate them for their own security after they were threatened. What do you make of that?
I think they're just lying. The government of Bangladesh, the Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, she is just blatantly lying to the international media. They are actually trying to, for our voice, they're actually trying to threaten us. They makes us, they want us so that we become afraid and we don't talk, we don't share anything, or we don't post anything to the Facebook or social media websites. They have told that the 3 coordinators has been abducted because of their privacy or because of their safety and security. They were all safe and secure. They were in the hospitals. They were with their family members, their loved ones. But the detective branch of police and the other law enforcement agencies were not even able to let us talk to them, let us talk to their family members. They were in the civil dress and they abducted the 3 coordinators along with numerous students. They are picking up students in the from their home, from the roads, and they are just trying to abolish any kind of documents we have in our hand right now.
Right. There's so many challenges being faced on the ground. The government-imposed internet shutdown has been partially lifted, as we understand. But is the countrywide curfew still in place?
Yes,
This is not old, by the way. This is not old. This is 4 weeks ago. Fuck, this is old. I do have newer clips.
They have somewhat a curfew in the evening. The curfew will again go on, and now we are remotely in the area that's the curfew got slightly bit as well. The thing is, there is still army deployed. There is still people.
I don't get the color. I don't. What do you? You guys stick out like a pimple on a nose, man. What the fuck is the color?
The people of the law enforcement agencies in the roads. Right now, when I'm talking to you, I have come from a solidarity movement, and there were BGB, there were army, there were Bangladeshi police in the roads, and they were taking the students home, and they were checking for our they were checking if we have anything related to the movement in our phone or in our Facebook.
Yeah, maybe that is the point, right? They're supposed to be unified, stormtrooper kind of look. It's supposed to be intimidating, not supposed to be camouflage, obviously. Yeah.
IDs or something like that. And they have also been using UN vehicles, the vehicles of United Nations, to kill unarmed civilians and to kill unarmed students. The death records officially has been recorded as 204. But we, the people who are in the front line, with the people who are in the road those days, we know the number is so much higher. The death records is so much higher. And
people.
You have to know that they have killed numerous civilians as well.
Right. So the courts have radically scaled back the quota system that was the trigger for student protests in the first place. Do you have any sense that things are going to return to normal now, or more of the same?
Things are never going to return to normal now. The people of Bangladesh, the students of Bangladesh has this kind of anger in our heart. We have this kind of anger in our brain. We know that what is happening is not right. We know that our brothers are being killed. We know that our sisters are being killed, and they are being abducted. They are being given false cases, false accusations, and they are being picked up in jail. And our families couldn't reach us. Our families couldn't talk to us. This can never be normal in a nation or in a state. When we call that we are free. We are in a free state. This can never be normal in a free state, and we, the people of Bangladesh, the students of Bangladesh, will always talk against this fascist, this autocratic regime.
Right. Prapti Taposhi in Dhaka. Thank you.
Damn! Woo! That's how you do it. See, that's what it looks like right there. I was talking about that activist yesterday who confronted Charlie Kirk at the DNC, and he walked up and he's confronting him about, Georgia electioneering, and Charlie goes, what's a woman? And then he kind of, you're weird, and then runs away. And it's like, we got to be better. We got to confront, we got to stand our ground. It's like, we need her energy. She's with it. She's totally plugged in. Totally plugged in. Oh, and she's a musician too. Check it out, man. Musician too. Check it out. Little John Lennon. Good for her. Totally inspiring. Yeah, we have more news, but we do have some up-to-date news from ya boy, Thinking Sabercat. Thank you once again. Sheikh Hasina has gone. Her party leader's in hiding. We could sense the anger. She didn't listen. Wow. So that student activist was not kidding. See, in that place, I'd call Charlie a woman. Yeah, no, we talked about it, and it was like, well, the definitive answer is a woman is a person who defines himself as a woman. That's how that works at that level, at the gender level, not at the sex level, right? Sex is genetic. I think that's how that works, right? But you need a response, not you're weird. Bye, Parker. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. He shouldn't have left. He should have had an answer. He should have been right back on message and made Charlie fucking leave. Not I have you're a virgin. I have sex with women. You should find a woman. Charlie's like, I'm married to a woman, bitch. I'm not trying to give credit to a fascist here. I'm just saying we have to do better. Articulate, on point, energetic. No, informed, just like she was. You should have gotten into a fight with him. No, because we're better than that, right? We're better than that. We're better than January 6th. We're better than dictatorships, authoritarians, and fascists. We don't have to get violent to put them in the fucking dirt. Physically, right? So she's out, gone. She's gone, dog. I won't be able to meet you. I can talk over the phone since I'm underground. I'll try to meet you somewhere safe. I don't know if I can meet you because your movements will be monitored. Those were some of the messages the Indian Express received from Awami League leaders, including ministers of the ousted Sheikh Hasina and activists and intelligentsia assigned with the previous government. Wow. Over last 1 week, the Indian Express was able to meet a couple of them at undisclosed locations to speak to those in hiding, fearing retribution by opposition groups, including the BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami. There's a common refrain: Hasina has abandoned the party and its people. Appa, elder sister, has abandoned us, the Awami League leader said, referring to Hasina. This fleeing of abandonment is shared by many of them who do not foresee the events of August 5th. It was the day Hasina quit, and along with her sister Sheikh Rina, fled the country. Her son Sajib Wazid Joy is in the U.S., while daughter Samia Wazid is in India. Man, this is like one of those Indian Bollywood kind of dramas. Her cabinet, even her closest aides, were taken by complete surprise when she decided to leave. Sources in the Awami League said, "We learned about it from TV," a leader said. This puts their lives in danger, and the angry mob, a mix of protesters, activists from political rivals BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami, and opportunists. Oh, interesting. Who is this article from? The Indian Express. Okay. And opportunists targeted the homes and businesses of Awami League leaders and the party offices. They were burnt, damaged, vandalized, and looted. All right, so let's get back to it. We got video of this stuff happening. Let's just go through the footage here. Channel 4, as recommended. Channel 4 here. Remember, you got to clock
across India this morning. Thousands of doctors, many of them women, walked off the job. Several state hospitals reduced to offering emergency care only. Amid this nationwide explosion of anger.
Bro, I love her shirt. That's so cool. It's a smiley face, glitter smiley face. Nice shirt.
Only. Amid this nationwide explosion of anger after the...
It's so funny, like the face that she's making.
Amid...
then the shirt's like, it's all good. Don't worry, be happy. We want justice.
This nationwide explosion of anger after the rape and brutal murder of a female.
Yeah, thinking Sabercat. They do care about that, and yeah, that, there's definitely multiple angles he could have taken. And look, it's, he's in the moment. He's a young guy. It's Charlie Kirk. He's gonna confront him. He doesn't want to look stupid. He I gotta bail. So I give all the credit in the world for Parker for doing that. And, good on you, Parker, for confronting Charlie. I'm just saying, like a coach is looking at, like Tim Wall's looking at the football game. Okay, let's go ahead, West Wing this shit. Okay. But, you look at that situation and say, okay, how could I have done better? Next time, the next leftist who confronts this fascist, how do we got to do it? How do we got to attack? We got to be ready with these fucking gotchas. We got to be ready. I like Channel 4, but the World News documentary show called Dispatch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've shown several dispatches on the stream before.
Colleague.
That's what Bartlett would do.
We want justice for the victim. And this is just one victim. But all of us know that there are so many victims like her who go unnamed, whose story we never hear.
It was at this teaching hospital in Kolkata last week where a junior doctor went to sleep in a classroom after a long shift. She was found dead the next morning.
Wow.
There were signs that she'd been raped and that several people were involved.
Wow. So, and this is a absolute crisis in India, the rape situation. So this poor woman, exhausted, is taking a nap in an empty room somewhere, and these guys go in there and gang rape her to death. It's unbelievable, man. But it happens. It's happened on buses. It's happened, in alleyways. It is an absolute crisis.
There were signs that she'd been raped and that several people were involved.
Sure, thinking Sabercat, yeah.
For many doctors, it was the final straw because attacks on them are so common and because the police arrested only one person.
The police are denying everything and we are not satisfied with their response.
Yeah.
So we have gathered here at midnight to demand justice for the victim.
On Wednesday night, the protests turned violent in Kolkata after a group of angry men looking for trouble hijacked what had been a peaceful march. The mob attacked the hospital itself, ransacking it for reasons which aren't entirely clear.
Hey, we can rape whoever we want to rape. How dare you come out? We can rape all we want, man. Why don't you rape each other, you fucking bastards, huh? Why don't you get in a big fucking juicy pile and start going at it? You bastards. What the fuck are you even defending? God. I mean, it's a crisis. It is a crisis. It is toxic masculinity gone insane, gone fucking wild. Okay? These people are rioting for the right to rape.
Itself, ransacking it for reasons which aren't entirely clear. The man arrested in connection with the doctor's murder was a volunteer security guard.
Jesus
the doctors
Christ.
say there's a cover-up. The police say that's not the case.
No. Well, fuck. Gorps, what? Okay, I'll take that back. I'm not going to iterate. But hey, let's be careful.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
It is a fact, though, that in Israeli prisons, it has become completely normalized to brutally rape Palestinians. That's a fact. Welcome to the fucking world that we live in.
Have worked day and night to detect this case, to collect evidences. They collect the best of evidences. The main accused has been arrested. We have tried to satisfy the family.
And Gorps is 100% correct. I don't know if I've reported on that. I might actually have that queued up, actually, now that I think about it. But yes, we saw Israelis protesting for the right to rape Palestinians in captivity. That's 100% correct. That is 100% correct.
Last night, doctors gathered outside the office of their former boss because he had claimed the death was suicide. And although he was forced to step down,
she's just cramming penises in every fucking orifice until she died, man. You know, chicks do that all the time, right?
He was reassigned to another hospital.
Unbelievable.
This scandal has cast a shadow over yesterday's 78th anniversary of India's independence. Prime Minister Modi was under pressure to say something to calm the situation.
Now you see, now the camouflage makes sense. Now the camouflage, if you are battling in this arena, in this battle arena right here, you're going to want that Valentine's Day camo. Okay, now it's making a lot of sense.
In a rambling speech, he made no direct reference to the woman who was killed.
This piece of shit.
There's outrage against this in the country. The common man's outrage. I can feel this outrage. An immediate investigation and strict punishment against those who commit such monstrous crimes against women is important to instill confidence in society.
Total lie.
These doctors don't just want justice, but a new law which would specifically outlaw violence against them.
It's unbelievable.
As well as
There's no law?
facilities, bathrooms, sleeping areas for women who work in hospitals.
Wow.
India's main medical association has called for a 24-hour strike starting tomorrow.
Wow. Okay, so that was 8 days ago. And then I think this clip I have, from 3 days ago. So here we have, let's get this is the final video on the subject, but I wanted to talk about it because it is shocking. It is, as that person's sign was holding, rape culture. It is the normalization of taking advantage of women physically and violently anywhere you want. It's your plaything. she shouldn't have, she shouldn't be dressed that way, shouldn't have looked this way, what all the misogynistic excuses used. It's a crisis. It's a crisis. And don't think I didn't see those men standing in solidarity with those women as well, And look, it's important that we talk about this because what do we see in the United States? I mean, look at J.D. Vance. How much of what we see in India would J.D. Vance agree with, right? Privately or publicly. You know what I mean? A lot of it. A lot of Sharia law style, Christian style Sharia law, basically, right? But women are possessions. Women don't have full control over their bodies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We got to nip it in the bud. We got to call it out. Do we want equity? Do we want equality, or don't we? Right? Do you stand by those principles, or are they just words? Modi came to political prominence, fanning the flames of anti-Muslim riots. Yeah, we've covered that, Clutch Cargo. I showed that first episode of that really amazing Netflix documentary, Modi. I just stole it. I didn't get in trouble for that one, so that was nice. Most people in the West, maybe it wasn't Netflix. Maybe it was maybe it was HBO. It's called Modi. Check it out. It's an amazing documentary series. Most people in the West can only get the head around the Indian population. They had a farmers. Yeah, the farmer strike, national strike. Yeah, we did cover the farmer strike. Wait, no, was that in India? There was some just last year. There was some hubbub with the Indian farmers. Maybe it wasn't a strike, but they did a protest. There was a big march, right? They had all the tractors out. Was that last year? All right, but anyway, here's the last video about this crisis. And it's kind of long here. This is actually like a full history. I don't know. I need a better. This is too fucking long. I need a fucking better video here. This is too. We don't need a full. I don't have time to do a full fucking history of everything. You know what I mean? 2 Indians really poop on the streets, homie. What the fuck, Carl Rock? Man, 5 years ago, 2.6 million views, dude. How do I ban this fucking idiot? I don't want... What the fuck is this? All right. Okay. He's trying to be a nice guy. He's Hindu-speaking Australian. Okay. He's not... Okay. All right. All right. I'll let it be. What are you doing, man? The fuck is that? That's how you win at YouTube, though. That's how you win. That's how you do it. Okay, it's all about the floods right now. What happened to the protests? What happened to the fucking protests? It's okay. There's flash floods. Okay, that's terrible. Yep, it's all about the floods, 1,000 stranded, floods. Okay. Man, India can't catch a fucking break, man. Okay, Bangladesh's interim government revokes diplomatic passports of XPM. Okay, here we go. Here's an update from WION News. I believe they're owned...
Let's also pay attention to what is happening in
Indian
Bangladesh,
news, actually?
because there is more trouble that seems to be brewing for the former Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The Bangladesh's interim government has now decided to strip Sheikh Hasina of her diplomatic privileges. Her diplomatic passport has also been revoked. Now, the Interior Ministry in Dhaka has announced that all diplomatic passports of the former ministers, members of parliament and their families have been revoked. The Sheikh Hasina, remember, was forced to flee out of Dhaka, and she came to India after the dramatic collapse of her government just about 2 weeks ago. And according to the latest information, she's still in India in what is being described as an undisclosed safe house. Now, Sheikh Hasina is currently facing a staggering 31 cases against her. 9 fresh cases were filed on Tuesday.
Why are they carrying furniture? What the fuck is this? Are they looting? Are they looting like is this them looting like the mansion, the palace? Is that what's going on here? What the fuck is this? This looks like Russia and Ukraine over here. They got all this fucking furniture, man. It's got to be them looting one of these palaces or something.
9 fresh cases were filed on Tuesday, and 26 of these include charges for murder.
I'm getting this chair. This is my chair.
The cases relate to crimes against humanity.
Nice chair.
One case pertains to abduction. Now, these charges are over the latest protests and also the campaign rallies from a decade ago.
What a wild location to protest. Man, I got to go to Bangladesh, man. This place looks amazing. What the fuck is this? This is so cool. What a crazy place to protest.
These are all the latest protests and also the campaign rallies from a decade ago. The Sheikh Hasina's son and sister were made co-accused in a killing case for the first time. The Sheikh Hasina's legal problems are now only compounded by the latest development. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the main rival of Hasina's party, the Awami League, is now demanding her extradition to face trial. The sweeping action also complicates Sheikh Hasina's potential return and legal status as Bangladesh is grappling with political upheaval. The revocation of Sheikh Hasina's passport is a stark reminder of the volatile nature of politics in Bangladesh.
Wow. All right, so that's all we got for Bangladesh at the moment. Here's the rest of the video if you want to watch this. I do have to move on to the other news stories that I have. So, yeah, you know, we were talking about this earlier in the chat about India and Zelensky and Russia and Modi's trying to do a peace thing. I don't buy it. I really don't buy it. I don't trust Modi at all. I think he's pro-Russian. I think what he's recommending for Ukraine is to give it up. You know, Zelensky just recently made a statement saying, "Yeah, we want peace, but we're not going to do it giving, you know, at the cost of 30% of our country." It's not happening. It's off the table. You know, he's basically saying it's off the fucking table. It's not even. Don't even talk about it. We're getting our country back, right? I believe Crimea might be, you know, on the table, maybe slightly, but honestly, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Had to show you this. So I got a lot of things to say about it, but I'm going to try to truncate it. But basically, single-use vapes that have electronics, right? They got little LCD screens, connect to Wi-Fi, do all kinds of crazy things. You smoke the little liquid cartridge that's in there, and then you throw the whole thing away. These things actually exist. And each one has been kissed by a young Chinese person who's gonna die in like 6 minutes. This motherfucker literally smokes every single one.
Our friend here is testing each one of them. I'm not sure if it's for taste or volume or I'm not sure precisely what. I'm also curious if he is inhaling.
Thank you, Sabercat.
Or if it's like a cigar, just quick taste test and exhale.
这些都没问题吗？你一天大概能测多少个？
一天大概要测平均
7,000 to 8,000 per day.
多的时候呢？
多的时候就1万多。
8,000.
你自己平时抽吗？那你下班之后还抽吗？
下班之后。
Then homie goes home and smokes. He goes home and he's I don't know if he smokes cigarettes or if he's puffing on vapes. Bro, you gotta stop. You gotta stop, dude. Wow, dog. It's like what is it? Leaving Las Vegas. What's that one about Nicolas Cage drinking himself to death? What are we watching? We're watching somebody. I don't. It's madness. I don't even know what to say. Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, it's like Leaving Las Vegas. And look, and you know, it's. I don't even know what to say, dog. I don't even know what to say. If these workers after 1 week.
Now cross over.
Okay. So we got to talk about this. I haven't mentioned this. Monkeypox is back, y'all. And he's testing single-use vapes. You know, these vapes that connect to Wi-Fi and have electronics and LCD screens. Then you smoke the cartridge. There's no way to replace the cartridge. You're meant to throw it away. Single-use vapes. They're real. He seems to like it. Yeah. No doubt. 19 seconds, but basically what that kid doing. Oh no. Oh God. All right. You like the links there, Sabercat. Yeah.
And just think, in 30 years I can retire.
Oh, man. I didn't know I needed a Looney Tunes clip, but I needed a Looney Tunes clip in my life. Ah, that's great. You know, interesting story about Mel Blanc, the voice behind Bugs Bunny. He got into a really nasty car accident. He got into a coma. And one of the techniques the doctors used, this is a true story, one of the techniques the doctors used to get him out of the coma was to start talking like Bugs Bunny. And then he started to talk like Bugs Bunny. And I think that's the story. You might correct me if I'm wrong. Look up the Wikipedia, but it helped him. Speaking like Bugs Bunny helped him get out of a coma. It's totally wild. He was Bugs Bunny, man. He really was. But anyway, back to the story here. Monkeypox is back, and they want us to take it a little bit more serious, so they're calling it Mpox. By the way, welcome back, Ford the Perfect. I thought this was going to be a dad joke build-up. No, monkeypox is back, dog, and they want, like I said before, they want us to take it a little bit more serious, so they're calling it Mpox now. It's nasty shit. It's real. We do need to be careful. And yeah, maybe we might have to take a vaccine. Oh no. Humanity's never taken vaccines before. This is all so new. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this is actually a secret plot to control our lives. What does Joe Rogan think?
To Burundi, where the country is currently seeing a surge in Mpox cases, especially in the northern suburbs of the capital, Bujumbura. While no deaths have been reported so far, officials say an additional 412 suspected cases were recorded between the 5th and the 19th of August. Burundi is one of 12 East and Central African countries experiencing a rise in Mpox cases. The Africa CDC has reported 1,400 new cases since the 13th of August, bringing the total to 18,900 across these countries, with 24 deaths reported during this period. The Democratic Republic of Congo, which has recorded the highest number of cases, is set to receive vaccines from next week. The treatment for Mpox is, however, costly in many African countries, with vaccines priced at about $100 per dose, making them unaffordable for many. Africa CDC now says it plans to secure 10 million vaccine doses by 2025. At a press briefing on Monday, the Director General, Dr. Jean Kaseya, announced a partnership with Danish manufacturer Bavarian Nordic to transfer vaccine production technology to Africa, aiming to boost supply and to cut costs as well. Okay, let's talk more about this. I'm now joined from Dakar, Senegal, by Dr. David Mugan.
Unfortunately, we do not have time to listen to the doctor here give us the full information of what's happening. Just, be careful, be aware. Watch out for monkeypox. I don't know. Here's the full video if you want to see it. 100 per dose. So guys are spread all over the world. Yeah, exactly. Off-world. And this is one of these opportunities where Russia and China might come in and, try to scoop up more influence in this country. And it's like, we're supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and we just let third world countries, African countries rot. Unless you got some diamonds or you got some fucking precious, gems or metals you can sell us, or you can let us, exploit for pennies on the dollar. So this is just a wild footage, man. So these guys are out in Canada, I believe. Two men tried to flee after being caught on a boat containing not Canada, sorry, in the UK, it looks like 39 million pounds worth of cocaine. These boys in big trouble, and they're caught red-handed. They probably already dumped the goods. And this is them trying to get away, and they're so stone cold busted, it's ridiculous. Unknown force. Yeah, some of them, they might be failures. I'll just take your word on that one. That doesn't really matter, though, right? Because it's about greasing palms. It's about politics. It's about influence. So it doesn't matter as much if they're successful. Yeah, Sabercat, yeah. Oh, you're so screwed, dude. They're all up on him.
You've been warned several times. Stop the rip, please.
You're so screwed. You're so screwed. Whoa, there he goes. There he goes. So damn, these guys have been probably doing it for a long time. We got one guy 55, another guy 31, right? So we got the old teaching the new here.
Watch it. Stand down, you've been warned.
Stone cold busted. This guy, they didn't get very far, bro. He's not even. These guys are not masterminds. These guys are not. He's not even on the beach, bro. You got to keep going. What are you doing? He tries to run. He tries to run. He's not like 30 feet away, 40, 50 feet away, maybe from the other guy. Oh, honey. Oh boy, well, they're getting some serious time for that. 2 men have pleaded guilty to smuggling millions of pounds of cocaine in the UK after a police chase in the water near Bernacchi Board in Suffolk. Border Force officers in a cutter pulled up alongside the men who refused to stop. One man jumps off the boat while it's moving at high speed, and he didn't even need to do it. It really hurt because they were going fast. But then he just stops just a couple feet down the beach anyway. Oh. So they had an estimated, so it was in the hull of the boat. That's why they couldn't get rid of it. It was in the boat. It was the boat. What's their sentence? I don't know what their sentence is. Here, we got the full story right here. You can go ahead and read the article, and you can tell me what their sentence was, Cam Goblin. 6 days and a slap on the wrist. Well, they're giving climate activists 7 fucking years. So, I would assume that their sentence is going to be a good one. Real quick here, we got to blast through these, but scary stuff. Wake-up call to humanity. Research shows the Great Barrier Reef is the hottest it's been in 400 years. Great Barrier Reef is vast and spectacular, but repeated mass coral bleachings driven by high ocean temperatures are threatening the survival of coral colonies, which are the backbone of the reef. Link didn't say, huh? The results are sobering confirmation that global warming... Our study published today in Nature provides a long-term picture of the ocean surface temperatures driving coral bleaching. It shows recent sea surface heat is unprecedented compared to the past 400 years. It also confirms humans are to blame. And yeah, I'm afraid Mr. Beast isn't going to fix this problem. It's going to cost trillions of dollars. And guess who we need to tax? It's not you. It's not me. It's not, our children. It's Jeff motherfucking Bezos, Elon Musk, fill in the blank. Bazillionaires, okay? Obscene amounts of wealth that they obtained polluting the fucking earth. They gotta chip in. Hey, look, Jeff, we'll put your fucking name on a plaque on one of these fucking machines. All right? That make you feel better? Hey, Elon Musk, we'll call it the Elon Musk Dick Suckinator. Right? Sucking up garbage from the ocean. Will that make you happy, you 14-year-old child? Oh, we're going to move. We're going to get out of here. Good. Leave. Never come back. You either are here and contribute to the problem that you created, or you get the fuck out of here. Hop on one of your goddamn rocket ships and ship yourself off to the fucking moon, Elon. You either contribute to fixing this problem, or go ahead and leave. The results are sobering confirmation that global warming caused by human activities will continue to damage the Great Barrier Reef. All hope is not lost. We must face a confronting truth. If humanity does not divert from its current course, our generation will likely witness the demise of one of Earth's great natural wonders. So what's more important? The Great Barrier fucking Reef or Jeff Bezos's fortune and Elon Musk's ego? You tell me. Yeah, get Bill Gates in there too. Easiest way to cut climate change is to get rid of commercial aircraft. Not happening. It's not fucking happening. We have enough money. We have enough intelligence. You know, there's this movement of environmentalists that say we have to go back. We have to accept less. That's the only solution. Less. And in some cases, yes, there's no other alternative. We have to accept less. We have to, you know, understand that we can't live in the same way that our parents lived. But we have technology and money, intelligence, research that we're not investing in that gives us a happier medium, that gives us a happier compromise. You know, instead of making massive sacrifices, we make smaller sacrifices. But if we continue on this path, especially for the next 10 to 20 years, we'll be making big sacrifices and we won't have any choice in the matter. I mean, goddamn, you and I in the chat right now might live in a time where the Great Barrier Reef is no more, is dead. The horror. Do you understand the teeming life of the Great Barrier Reef? Barren? How tragic that would be. We don't have control over a lot of this, right? Because there's a momentum to it, right? The pollution, you know, there's a momentum to it. So even if we were to start day one right now and completely change our society, it still might not be enough to save this in our lifetime. Not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm just trying to give you a look and you know, zoom the camera out and look at the amount of work that needs to be done. I'm talking generational work. The entire generations need to dedicate themselves to reversing the damage. And then 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, will we see major trends starting to reverse? Climate is not a light switch. It's like a flywheel, you know, with just a bunch of momentum. And you know, you want to hit the brakes on that momentum. It takes time to slow that flywheel down. Moving on to the next story. Crazy shit. Goddamn billionaire disappearing. Actually bigger than the Barrier Reef, direct climate change and the Lulu mass movement. Yes. Whip cracker. Yes. That we should be very aware of climate change. It's one of the defining issues of our generation. And, you know, what did we hear about that at the DNC? You know, yeah, we gotta stop climate change. Oh, yeah. No, we didn't actually hear that from Little John. Anyway, crazy story, conspiracy shit. I don't know what's going on. Mike Lynch, some billionaire, not the MyPillow guy. I thought it was maybe the MyPillow guy. Mike Lynch's body found in yacht wreckage. Daughter is last missing. So they found her body recently. This is a little old, a couple days. So Rome, the body of British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch has been recovered from the wreckage of a sunken yacht off Sicily's coast, an Italian government official said Thursday, speaking on the condition of anonymity in keeping with protocol. British flagged Bayesian was carrying 12 passengers and 10 crew members. Roughly half a mile from the Sicilian fishing village of Porticello, when it encountered authorities called a violent storm. So it just kind of tipped over, sounds like. About 4 a.m. Monday. Oh, so they were sleeping, right? They were, and then they hit really rough seas. Oh, that's nasty. 15 people were rescued shortly after the sinking, and the body of the yacht's chef, Ricardo Thomas, was recovered during initial search efforts. So most people got off the boat, but not everybody got off the boat. 6 people, including Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter Hannah, were missing in the days after the sinking. So it probably just depended on where you were at the very moment when the action happened, right? Most people were in a place where they could brace themselves or they weren't heavily damaged, but some of these people were probably in more open spaces, right? Because it's a really fancy yacht, so maybe the more nice, fancy places were actually more dangerous to be in the tip over. Turned into a manslaughter investigation. No shit. Yeah, we're missing days after wreckage. 4 bodies were pulled from the wreckage on Wednesday. The Italian officials said Lynch's body was taken out of the water, identified on Thursday. So they were still in the boat. As of Thursday, only Lynch's daughter was still missing. Like I said, they found her. Authorities identified 4 bodies, blah, blah, blah. They found bodies. Best known founding tech venture, blah, blah, blah. Company was charged UN states with fraud. He was acquitted during a trial in San Francisco. Decades-long legal battle. Many of the guests of the yacht had business or legal ties to Lynch. Okay. Chris Morvello was a partner of the law firm at Clifford Chance in New York, represented Lynch in the concluded legal battle. Intended to be a celebration of Lynch's victory. Ooh, so that is interesting. That is interesting. So he's on this boat with a bunch of other slime bags, and they're there specifically to celebrate a victory, right? And maybe somebody wanted to spoil the party. From the firm was heartbroken, tragic passing, tech entrepreneur, identified himself with Lynch family, Titan figurehead. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do a follow-up next week on this one. We'll see what we can see, what the hell is actually happening. It does look sus, yeah. So the trip was a flex for winning over in court. That makes it look sus, yeah. He's like rubbing it in, you know, the people that he screwed over. If I was a billionaire, I'd have a World War II submarine. You know? Yeah, I mean, where are the billionaires doing that crazy shit? They're so boring. They're so fucking boring. I have a yacht inside a yacht. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but was that your idea? Were you sipping on brandy in your underground fucking fortress, watching a shark swim by as you think, I should put a yacht in my yacht, right? No, you just bought it at the store like a jackass. You're not putting laser beams on sharks. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything with your fucking money except hoarding it. It's like, I've talked about this before. It's a mental illness. They hoard wealth, like an animal will hoard a bauble, like a magpie hoards shiny things. They don't want to spend it. They want to see that number go up. It's a weird mental illness. They don't care about anything else but the fucking number. Is the distant future Earth is uninhabitable due to climate change? Humanity has moved onto other planets, but the project you are part of is working to reverse the damage. With extreme temperature fluctuations, strong wind, acid storms, and generally hazardous conditions, bit by bit, the infrastructure for healing the planet is being built. My God, dude, that's a great intro. That's great. You're a good writer. Yeah, you got a little right. You got some chops here. Love it. At least George Lucas set up a foundation and museum. You're right. Something. Welcome back, Oh My God, Sticks, and Off-World Colonists. I know you've been here a while. Captain was probably drunk or something and not paying attention to the weather. Maybe. And the ocean's a nasty place, man. Poseidon will just have it in for you one of these days. It is interesting, though. They're going to be investigating the crash, the wreckage, see if there's any foul play. Lots of people survived, so we got lots of eyewitnesses. So we'll get the truth here. This motherfucker, dude. This piece of shit. Finally, New Zealand is set to extradite internet mogul Kim.com. And yeah, he changed his name like in the fucking early 2000s when .com was like a trendy thing, to the United States after the country's justice minister gave his approval on Thursday. I don't necessarily disagree with, I guess, his stance on data, like, hosting data and, the freedom of data and keeping your data private from government eyes and all that. I don't necessarily disagree with some of that, but man, is that Baron Harkonnen? Nailed it, Ice King. But this is the human Baron Harkonnen, right? This is in real life. If we ever got one, it would be this guy. His political views, his personal views, he is just a nasty, disgusting human being. And I say that with all confidence. I don't like to say that about people, too often, who don't deserve it. This guy is scum. This guy is a scumbag. Look him up. Look up his political, pro-Russian, but even beyond that. No, it's not the Pirate Bay guy. It's the Mega Upload. It's the Mega guy. He did all the Mega sites. I hope he brings his own food. But no, that's all I got to say. Justice has been done. Shady past. He's getting busted for the data stuff, which I don't think he should be getting busted for. He should be getting busted for, just look it up, dude. The guy's a nasty mofo, okay? Fill in the blanks. I don't mean to slander a guy. I don't have all the facts in front of me, but just look him up. It's just every time I see his face, I see the headline, it's just something disgusting. I want to show this. I don't have time to show it because I have to get to Gaza. But this is a very important video that I will be showing maybe next weekend about the housing crisis. Specifically, this is about Canada, but this is a phenomenon we're seeing in many different places. And if you're in the market for buying a house, it's really good info to have. So I'll go ahead and give you the link right now. If you're one of those people that's looking to buy a house in a Western democracy, you don't live in Ukraine. I'm sure everything is different in Ukraine right now. But if this interests you, you might want to check out this video if you're shopping around for a house right now. But yeah, we'll get back to that one a little bit later, because we do have very important news out of Gaza. We do have to talk about this. I've been avoiding this for too long. It's fatiguing. It's tiring. It's depressing. But we have to talk about it. We have to take our medicine. We can't look away. We can't look away. If we chant free Palestine, we can't look away. It was a noble concept, but he fucked up when he started shrugging his shoulders and gore and child. That's what I'm saying off world. I don't want to get into the details, but free speech absolutists are basically pro child porn guys. You know what I mean? If you don't accept limits on free speech, then you accept the degradation of society in a way. We won't get into it, but we got to get into this. Israel, Hezbollah, cross-border strikes. DW asking how to avoid an all-out war. This was just 7 hours ago. It was like 3 hours ago when I started or whatever. So up-to-date, latest news here about the situation. Let's get a recap, and then we'll dig in. I have horrific images. I have such horrible things to show you if you want to stick around for it. But if you do leave, I don't think I'd blame you either. Let's get into it. Here's the big news on free speech, people. Oh, the Pavel Duva. I'm kind of waiting to report on the Pavel stuff until I know a little bit more. So maybe the next Ukraine segment, we'll get into that. But yeah, I'm kind of waiting to report on that story right now. I kind of want more details.
Israel says waves of its warplanes have carried out.
Actually, that's more UK news, isn't it? I'll be covering the UK next weekend, so that let me get this squeezed in for my UK stuff here.
Preemptive strikes against Hezbollah militant targets in Lebanon, where authorities reported 3 deaths. Hezbollah says it has launched drones against Israel in retaliation for the assassination of one of its commanders.
Early morning in northern Israel. The Iron Dome springs into action as Hezbollah begins what the militant group calls Phase 1 of an attack on Israel. Hundreds of rockets and drones fired towards 11 military sites. It says it's in retaliation for the killing of one of its commanders in Beirut last month.
Yeah, a very provocative action, an action that clearly said we want to escalate, not we want to de-escalate, and a message to Joe Biden that he ignored. Oh, I'm a Zionist. This is my most favorite little pet project, and they can just do no wrong. And no, you better do better next time. That's what Joe Biden says, and then he goes back to sleep. It's just so pathetic. So the bar is so low for Kamala. All she needs to do is a little, just not even show up for a speech, and then people are like, oh well, maybe she won't be so bad. Yeah, we'll see.
In a statement, Hezbollah said, all offensive drones were launched at their designated times and from all their positions. Our military operation for today has been completed. The enemy's claims regarding its preemptive actions, the targets it allegedly hit, and its supposed disruption of Hezbollah's attack are baseless and contradict the facts on the ground.
Housing's expensive in Ukraine? You're kidding me. How? You're getting invaded. How is housing expensive in Ukraine? You're fucking with me. Yeah, so we got rain, floods every once in a while. It's kind of scary, tornadoes and earthquakes, very rare. We have a massive country invading and, mortars and drones. Your neighbor or you might get blown up at any moment, but you gotta see the view from the backyard. Check out this porch. Opens up the door. You could actually see the mortar strikes, streaking across the sky. You could see the drones. I mean, the view from this back porch is really something else. You get the grill going. What are we asking? 1.3 million hyenas, havernas, whatever your currency is. Yeah, we're asking about 1.3, 1.4 hyenas or havernas. How do I say the currency? How is housing expensive in Ukraine? What the fuck? It's much cheaper in other regions. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. The further west you go, it's more expensive. Okay.
Israel says it began preemptive airstrikes on Sunday against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon after they detected plans of an attack against its territory. The IDF claimed 100 fighter jets have struck and destroyed thousands of Hezbollah rocket launcher barrels aimed at Israel. It also released these images, it says, are of a Hezbollah drone being intercepted.
Damn, what an image, dude. Fucking yeah, submit that shit to the fucking image of the year, bro. Whoa. That's the Iron Dome taking out one of those fucking drones,
These images, it says, are of a Hezbollah drone being intercepted.
Ooh, damn, that's cool.
Israel's prime minister issued a warning after an emergency national security cabinet meeting.
It's so funny how the whole world doesn't take anything Trump says seriously. He says the most extreme, blood-curdling, frightening things, and people are just like, yeah, okay, we'll let old man speak, okay? You know, just give him a fucking Happy Meal and they'll shut up.
We're determined to do everything to protect our country, return the residents of the North to their homes, and continue to follow a simple rule.
I'm going to wait until next week.
Whoever hurts us, we hurt them.
But it is very scandalous.
Sunday's escalation further heightens tensions as talks continue.
Clutch Cargo, how would a big Middle East war affect the elections? Well, both sides, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans would spin it in their own way, and the partisans would have already made their decision. Most Americans aren't even paying attention. Most Americans aren't even paying attention to geopolitics. I think it would have surprisingly, Americans wouldn't care as much. I don't know if it would surprise us how little it would affect the election, you know, right now, especially this election where hundreds of millions of people are clocked out. It's really just the partisans. It's really just the crazy political people that are battling this out. I don't know if a Middle East war would really change too much in the election. You know what I mean? I don't think so.
To reach a ceasefire and
even if U.S. forces were involved, okay, that would maybe change the equation. Yeah, that would maybe change it. It would force the Democrats to be hawkish, and it would force the Republicans to pretend to give a shit about peace. Yeah. Oh, can you believe they're killing brown people in the Middle East? Republicans would never do that. Right? So that, yeah, boots on the ground would change it. But Joe Biden's a fucking coward. Joe Biden is a space level vacuum of leadership. You know what I'm talking about? The guy is a black hole of leadership. So it would have to be apocalyptic for him to put boots on the ground. He is a total coward.
Hostage release deal in Gaza.
Now, they never do that off-world.
For more, let's bring in our correspondent in Jerusalem, Tanya Kramer. Tanya, describe the state of emergency in Israel right now.
Yeah, Gorbs. I think she's the standard military-industrial complex, you know, kind of rhetoric from Kamala. Yep.
Well, somehow, people anticipated retaliation by Hezbollah and also at some point by Iran after the high-profile targeted killings in Beirut and Tehran last month that were attributed to Israel. So Israel has been preparing for that, and it was not a matter of if, but when and how.
No, everyone, all the nuke stuff, people talking about nukes, we need to remember that every country that isn't the United States, okay, it's hypocritical, but that's it. But any country that uses nuclear weapons fucks themselves. Everyone knows that. And the United States understands that it would lose a lot of credibility if it were to drop another one, right? That it was a really very special time in history that they were able to get away with those 2 nukes in Japan. So this whole idea, they're going to drop a nuke, Nobody's dropping a fucking nuke. Nobody, dude. Nobody. It's like taking a dump on your own manifesto, It completely fucks you over.
These counterstrikes would look like, whether they could be limited
the money is going to continue to flow into Israel.
This will
lead
to an all-out war in the region.
Now,
Israel said they had launched at shortly before 5 a.m. in the morning with over 100 warplanes or fighter jets. These what they described as preemptive strikes.
Okay. Ben-Gvir in charge of Israel. Ben-Gvir replacing Bibi Netanyahu. We have to worry about the nukes. We have to worry about the nukes. Yeah, okay. Ben-Gvir takes over for Bibi Netanyahu, becomes that his party is extremist, anti-Palestinian, pro-settlement, destroy Palestine party, becomes the de facto party of Israel. That somehow happens, that Bibi gets pushed out. It doesn't seem very likely. Bibi's incredibly politically savvy with a very strong political coalition. Even now, even with his corruption, even with his unpopularity, he's a very vicious political animal. But yeah, say something happens to Bibi, Ben-Gvir takes over, Smotrich takes over. Yeah, no, now we do have to worry about the nukes. Yes, we at that point, yeah. Look into Ben-Gvir. The guy is Looney Tunes. The guy is straight up, kind of like the guy with the little mustache. He reminds me of the guy with the little mustache, but I know I can't say that because it's so fucking ironic. It's beyond ironic. It's the most ironic fucking thing in the world. It's the definition of irony. But let me tell you, Ben-Gvir reminds me of a guy with a tiny mustache. That's all I'm going to say. Him in charge of Israel is a legitimate nightmare. Worry about the nukes at that point. Bibi Netanyahu, we got nothing to worry about.
At launching sites, they said they targeted about 40 different areas there, and Hezbollah has said they had been successful in launching over 300 missiles and drones at Israel. They said they targeted military targets. Now, we have heard here from the Israeli side that they reject the claim that military targets were actually hit. Now, Hezbollah has said this first phase is concluded, but what does it mean here for people? Now, we've been seeing in the early morning there was a security cabinet meeting, an emergency mode was said to be installed. Now, the air traffic also in Ben Gurion was then for some time being interrupted. Now, it has been back on track now, but there are still delays. Being said, some of the major foreign airlines have now extended their suspension of their flights to Tel Aviv. Also, the home front command this morning was changed for people, especially in Tel Aviv and the northern area. Of course, they have been restricted, but those restrictions have now been lifted as of 12:30 local times. They have not been lifted for people further up north. They have been living with cross-border attacks between Hezbollah and Lebanon, for many, many months now. Since October last year, we know that approximately 60,000 people have not been able to return home also in all these months. This is, of course, also a situation that is not really acceptable for Israel. Now, we have to wait and see, of course, what the next what are the next moves.
Thank you very much for bringing us up to date. Tanya Kramer in Jerusalem for us. And let's go over to our correspondent, Mohammed Schreiter, who is in Lebanon. Mohammed, Hezbollah called these attacks a strategic target. Give us some more context.
Well, Hezbollah said that it launched more than 300 missiles to disrupt Israel's aerial defenses, paving the way for tens of attacking drones to cross towards military bases in northern Israel. Now, in a series of statements issued by the militant group, it said that it hit what it called a strategic target that will be revealed soon. That was the sentence used in a statement. And more information about this.
This building behind, I don't mean to non sequitur, I'm sorry, but this building sucks. This is such a boring, what the fuck is this, dude? This is like some shit that I would make in Minecraft because I don't know how to make a fucking building. What the fuck is this? It sucks, I'm sorry. It's just so boring.
Revealed soon, that was the sentence used in a statement.
Krail, you push it, man. You push it. I like you, Krail. But no. There is some key differences. The colonialism, there is a ton of similarities, but there are some key differences here. Let's not give our enemy, the bad actors, any ammunition. That's where I'm coming from. You're you're a civilian. You're not in front of a camera. You're not in front of a microphone, so you don't have to. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? So I get that, but I need to be specific. I need to be clear. I really, the whole, comparing literally everything to Nazis, literally everything, it's like, it does make you look like a clown a little bit if you're constantly doing that, Tim Pool style,
And more.
I mean it. I know. All right. Yeah. You can mean it. Yeah. Let's not get the man a strike. Well, it's very easily weaponized. These generalizations about Zionism, very easily weaponized against you. They're just like Nazis. No, it isn't. How many death factories has Israel made? I understand they have gulags, they have prisons, they're sexually assaulting these people there. But are there facilities in Israel killing tens of thousands of Palestinians every single day? No. It's not a Holocaust. It's not. We need to be more nuanced about it. We need to be correct about these things, because our enemies will take advantage of our generalizations, in a bad, in an argument, you don't even know what you're talking about. That's not even close to true.
Information about this is
you
expected
do whatever the hell you
speech
want,
by the party leader
just telling you where I
Hassan
gotta come from.
this evening. But several security sources and media reports said that the party attempted to hit a security facility or security facilities near Tel Aviv, including a secret base used by the
Mossad. I would agree.
Now, whether
that's
it
the kind of
hit the
nuance
target
I'm looking
or not
for
is yet to be confirmed. Media reports coming out of Israel suggest that the attack did not reach Tel Aviv whatsoever. This was the largest attacks from Lebanon on Israel.
Gaza is an open air prison. Sure, if you want to call it a concentration camp, I would allow that as well. It is not a death factory. It is not a death camp. And let's not forget. Look, we've all spent 600 hours watching the History Channel World War II shit, right? Everyone's just like me. Seen more images of Hitler than he's seen of his fucking self, of his own family, right? The Nazis built death factories, 30, 40,000 people a day terminated, killed. Their bodies cremated. It was a factory, okay? It's big. There's big differences between what the Nazis were up to and what Israel is doing. It's a different kind of brutality. It's a different kind of monstrousness. It's Zionism. It's the Zionist style of colonialism, okay? It's not German. It's not Nazi. It just isn't. So let's not be ignorant.
Since the outbreak of this conflict in October.
And otherwise, how else have people been reacting to these attacks?
Well, it's looking quite normal for a Sunday here in Beirut. The attacks brought about anxiety in the morning and fears that an Israeli response now could widen the conflict further. But soon as Hezbollah announced the completion of this military operation, also reports coming from Israel in the same direction, meaning that Israeli response to this incident is over. The front gradually went back to the daily routine of ticks for tax and intermittent cross-border shelling between both parties. So life went back relatively to the usual here in Beirut. Some airlines cancelled flights to and from Beirut's airport. The caretaker government also met in the morning to discuss the development, and the spokesperson said that it's...
Gorps, all right, okay, sure. I mean, it's too much of a stretch, man. Look, we don't need to bring the Nazis into this, even though it's very ironic and, the origin of Israel and all that, we don't need to bring the Nazis into this to make the case against Zionism. You know what I mean? It muddies it. It opens up too many doors for our opponents to rhetorically put us in corners and call us out and, try to paint us, in directions that we're not, or paint us in ways that we're not. But it's not that crazy. Sure. I mean, well, there's comparisons that can be made across the board for a lot of different things. It is brutality. It's colonialism. And, they're killing tens of thousands of people over the course of, a year. But do we really need to complicate this any further? It's a pretty complicated fucking situation. You know what I mean? We got to bring fucking, 1940s Germany into this shit. Really? It's just like, can we just stay on point? The The focal point should be the humanity of the Palestinians. That's what needs to break. That right there is, to me, is the X factor. Because the moment we start, Israel, the West, the world starts treating Palestinians like human beings instead of special humans, special types of humans that are more violent and crazy than any other, they're just special in their own way. It's the crux right there, the humanity of the Palestinians.
Reaching out to mediators to de-escalate the situation.
And the latest there from DW's
Nothing changes
Thank you.
until the world treats these people like human beings. Nothing changes.
And more context on the latest development.
Okay, I can't take it. No thanks. I'm good. Some university guy. He's smart. He's read books. He read so many fucking books his hair fell out. I don't have time for it. Moving on. Next article. Probably had something really intelligent to say, too. He probably had something really smart to say. Hamas says it rejects new Israeli conditions in Gaza ceasefire talks. Look, I've talked about this before. I have several articles showing Hamas official boasts October 7th derailed normalization process, says never to two states. These Hamas characters, the left needs to accept that these people are holding the Palestinians hostage, that they were put in place by Bibi Netanyahu to divide and conquer the Palestinians, and and they will hold true to that goal until the end of time. There is no way we can destroy terrorism at the barrel of a gun. The only way you can destroy terrorism is by a healthy middle class, by nullifying the elements that encourage terrorism. Right? The poverty, the hopelessness, the feeling of being trapped in an open air prison in your own home, right? The apartheid state in the West Bank. That's what gets rid of these people, not a gun. Now, that isn't to say that you don't need guns to defend yourself against people like this, but the solution to the Gaza situation, and this, it's never going to happen, because step one is treating the Palestinians like human beings, accepting that these are fellow human beings and treating them as such. So it's off the table already, in Bibi land, in Zionist land. But step one is to accept that these people are human beings. Step two is to install a technocratic government associated, related to, or just a branch of the Palestinian Authority from the West Bank to begin the rebuilding process, medical services, driver's licenses, to provide a technocratic government while Gaza, Palestine rebuilds. There needs to be a corridor created between the West Bank and Gaza. And of course, the people of Gaza need to have their fishing rights returned so that they can fish in the fucking sea that their country is connected to. And then you start the process of rebuilding Palestine in the Gaza Strip. No, check, it's a technocratic government. It's an occupation technically at first, right? Checkpoints and military security, making sure that these fucking scumbags don't come in and take advantage, taking out Hamas appropriately, surgically, not with a big fucking bomb blowing up a building. You're trying to build buildings. That's the solution. And like I said, because it involves treating Palestinians like human beings, Bibi Netanyahu and unfortunately a democratic plurality of Israelis living in Israel off the table. These people are monsters. They are the scum of the earth, and all they know is violence. And if we were to give them peace, or if we were to create some kind of real peace with them and start treating them like human beings, they would just stab us in the back. As long as that narrative is the predominant narrative in Israel, and as long as characters like this are happy to be useful idiots for Bibi Netanyahu, nothing changes. So the left needs to, Jackson Hinkle is not on the left, but he had that photoshopped image on his Twitter there of him with Hamas. You got people like Hassan, coyly trying to make half-assed, half-hearted arguments about how Hamas is resistance. We need to accept that Hamas is not the way forward for the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. And we need to demand a more viable solution like the one that I described. Because as long as the fate of the Gazan Palestinians are in the hands of this disgusting organization, Bibi Netanyahu has all the ammo he needs. He's got Cobra fucking commander over here, right? It doesn't end until this cycle is broken, and the cycle doesn't break until something happens in Israel. And do you see anything? And nothing's going to happen in Israel until it's pressured by the United States. So that it's all off the table. It's a perfect fucking storm of never-ending violence and chaos. Joe Biden's lack of leadership, Bibi Netanyahu's political cynicism, Ben Gvir's extremism, a toxic fucking torrent, swirling and swirling, catalyzing each other. So yeah, let's bring the Nazis into it. Anyway, my point's made. Fuck Hamas. Last headline, though, I do have. Hamas said to decide to target Israelis abroad in bid to avenge Henya killing. So, Israeli people abroad, watch your back. You might have a target on your back. You know, more anti-Semitism, more threats, more violence. After this, then it's peace. Just a little bit more on these strikes. This was news from Sky News 13 hours ago. Just a little bit more of this, and then I gotta go.
Towards southern Lebanon in what it called self-defense after saying it had identified a planned attack by the militant group Hezbollah to fire rockets into Israel. In return, Hezbollah launched drones and missiles towards Israel in what they say was to avenge the killing of one of their top military commanders last month. Well, warning sirens sounded in northern Israel and explosions were heard as the military's Iron Dome aerial defense system shot down missiles. Israel's military has confirmed the group had planned an extensive attack.
A short while ago, the IDF identified Hezbollah terrorist organization.
I would say 60 to 70% of the things this man says is an outright lie.
Preparing to fire missiles, rockets towards Israeli territory. In a self-defense act to remove these threats, the IDF is striking terror targets in Lebanon from which Hezbollah was planning to launch their attacks on Israeli civilians.
Yeah, I mean, Sabercat, look, you know, his heart's in the right place. God bless him, and I'm happy for his fucking success. But the guy, it does not do enough reading. And this is what happens when you get rich. It's no longer your problem, man. You know, it's like, I got my life to live, dude. I'm a celebrity. I'm a millionaire, man. I got bitches to fuck and I got money to spend. Why am I going to sit around playing video games, listening to news podcasts, learning about the world around me? I got all the time in the world, but I'm not going to use it anymore to anything beneficial. It's what happens to rich people, you know? So I like Hassan, but you know, you got to go all in, man. You're either a political commentator or you're a fucking, you know, entertainer. So what the fuck are you, Hassan? It's like, well, I got to get that bag. I'm on the grind. I got to get that bag. I got to play Dark Souls. You're a fucking joke then. You're a joke. See you at the next protest where you pretend to participate.
This follows more than 6,700 rockets, missiles, and explosive UAVs fired by Hezbollah at Israeli families, homes, and communities.
He's a good-looking guy. He can show off his looks. That's fine.
Hezbollah will soon fire rockets and possibly missiles and UAVs towards Israeli territory. We will shortly update the Home Front Command defensive guidelines for those in Israel. From right next to the homes of Lebanese civilians in the south of Lebanon, we can see that Hezbollah is preparing to launch.
I just hate the framing, you know, just the way that they frame everything in the way that, you know, this must be what it was like during the Bush administration when we were fucking around in the Middle East, and, you know, other countries seeing our statements, we're so in the right, everything was framed in the way of American hero, jingoism, right? Every statement made, everything, it must have been so aggravating and annoying. And like getting this from Israel, it's like, man, it's like, it's so dishonest. It's so ingenuine, you know, it's just, there's reality, there's some fact rolled into this, but man, it is spun in such a way that it's just unbearable to watch when you understand the truth of the matter.
Launch an extensive attack on Israel.
I don't know if Assad's a tanky. I think he's just kind of a airhead.
We warned the civilians located in the areas where Hezbollah is operating to move out of harm's way
His heart's in the right place
for their own safety. Hezbollah's ongoing aggression risks dragging the people of Lebanon, the people of Israel, and the whole region into a wider escalation. Israel will not tolerate Hezbollah's attacks on our civilians. We are operating in self-defense from Hezbollah and any other enemy that joins in their attacks against us.
Pretty stupid, bulletproof.
And we are ready to do everything we need to defend the people of Israel.
Didn't China invade Japan?
Well, let's cross the region now. We can speak to our international correspondent, Alex Rossi, who's in Beirut for us this morning, and to our Middle East correspondent, Alistair Bunkle, who's in Jerusalem.
Exactly.
Good morning to both of you. Alistair, to you first of all. Just how clear a picture do we now have of exactly what
China annexed Tibet. Yeah, great point.
happened last night?
Well, it's becoming a bit clearer, but both sides are playing what happened to their own narrative, to their own advantage. Let me speak for the Israeli side, because I'm sure Alex will have more to add on the Lebanese side of things, but also because I've had a briefing from the IDF this morning, and they say that around 100 of their fighter jets,
I like Hassan,
at around 4:30 a.m. this morning, took out,
I just want him to do better,
thousands of launch sites across 40 particular targets, predominantly in southern Lebanon, but also elsewhere in Lebanon. I think there were reports of airstrikes in the Bekaa Valley, for example, sort of further north into Lebanon. Now, they did this because they say they had intelligence, and they won't go into detail, but they had intelligence that Hezbollah, was about to launch thousands of rockets and drones into particularly northern Israel, but central Israel as well. Probably, they haven't confirmed it, but probably Tel Aviv.
Free Palestine, free
And
Ukraine.
all in response for the killing of Fuad Shukra, very senior Hezbollah commander that the Israelis killed
free Cuba
in a drone strike in Beirut about 3.5 weeks ago. So the Israeli side of the story this morning is that they had good intelligence.
Simply, Steve,
this massive attack was about to happen.
I talk about, when I'm talking about Kamala and I'm talking about neoliberals, I'm constantly talking about how the progressives need to assimilate the neoliberals, and it's not just because I want single payer health care. It is a completely different geopolitical outlook, and quite frankly, the way that I've talked about it earlier in the stream about how America does geopolitics, it's our way or the highway. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. We have to accept that the United States' goal is not world peace. It's world domination. Not in the way that we would think, though. Not like I'm planting the U.S. flag on China and it's now, Kentucky 2, the sequel, but it used to be China and we put up our flag. It's not like that. The United States wants global dominance through the dollar, through the currency that it, and he wants everyone to do business through the United States using the dollar. That's their definition of global domination. And it's not. It doesn't seem sustainable for me. There are people who would say that this is the only way to have world peace. They make this American exceptionalist argument that the reason why things are so peaceful is because of the American empire's power, right? The dominance over the globe. And, it's kind of, there's arguments to be made and arguments, against it and all that. I personally believe, though, that it's wildly unsustainable, but there is no entity that is going to start changing this, because it has to be done by example. The United States, it has to start with the United States. The United States is busy wagging its finger at every other country. Don't do this, don't do that, can't do this, can't do that, and literally does it in front of everybody with a big fucking grin and says, what the fuck you gonna do about it, bitch? It doesn't seem sustainable in the long term, in hundreds of years. You know what I mean? So we need to get these progressive perspectives in here, or else these situations are never going to change. Thank you for the follow, NSE.
Acted and they thwarted it, and they say that the 250 to 300 drones and missiles that Hezbollah did launch at Israel caused In their
that's
words,
nice.
very little damage,
it's a great
although that
story
damage
out of Cuba.
assessment
I
is still going on.
I gotta go to Cuba one of these days.
There is now a meeting
Havana,
going on
baby.
of the Israeli Security Cabinet.
Go visit Abu
They will also
Ghraib.
do their own assessment. They will consider what the next step is. And there'll be two schools of thought there. There'll be one, which I'm sure it will be what the Americans are also saying to them.
Yeah, bulletproof.
You knew this was coming. You were prepared for it. And you thwarted it by and large. And very little damage was caused. Almost take that as the win. A bit like Biden said to
No, I mean, clutch cargo. I'm not talking about defanging America, right? I'm not talking about, America needs to disarm itself first for the rest of the world to follow suit. No, but it starts with America. It starts with an initiative from America who says, okay, first thing, let's get everybody in the room, right? That's step one. That's a massive achievement. Let's literally get every country in the room, every president, every country in the room, and let's have a discussion. That's step one. That would be epic in and of itself. Just to get everybody in, every country's leader, everybody in the same room, having some kind of dialogue together, right? A super UN, right? A global UN, whatever you want to call it. That would be step one, right? And we're talking about massive humanity-changing evolutions, right? Only countries could do it. And really, only America could really set that standard to really say, okay, we're putting our nuts on the table. Who else is putting their nuts on the table? Because we all got a stake in this. We're all in the same marble. We all got nukes, most of us. What's the discussion, And I don't see that from the United States. I don't see a big idea. I don't see a big plan outside of dominance, outside of power. And I don't think that's sustainable. Right? We got Russia and China with the same exact motivations. And what does Russia do? They say, every time they're criticized for Bucha, they're like, what are you talking about? U.S. does this shit all day. Bring up Fallujah, bring up any kind of, bring up My Lai massacre in Vietnam, et cetera, right? We're hypocrites. We're all hypocrites. We're all bloody. Everyone in the nation, every country. So it's like that's where it starts, which is like accepting that this, getting rid of this exceptionalist American exceptionalism that we are somehow better because we were born in this country. It starts with the leaders. It can only start from the top, right? No matter how many people want it from the bottom, it's an initiative that has to start from the top. So that means the leaders we choose have to be interested in making that future viable. And right now, the leaders that we're choosing have no interest in that. They only are interested in status quo.
Netanyahu back in April when Iran attacked. But there'll be those also,
not a global
particularly the far
prime
right
minister.
in Netanyahu's government, who will say, we've got to go into Lebanon, or at the very least, we've got to take offensive action now, and we've got to go at Hezbollah. Hezbollah has said that this was phase one. Don't let them get to phase two. And so that will be one of the dilemmas. There'll be lots, but that'll be one of the sort of considerations that the Netanyahu government will be weighing up. And then the other backdrop to it is you've got ceasefire talks due to start again.
Clutch cargo,
high-level ceasefire
100%.
talks in Cairo later 100%. On today. Nobody's expecting any kind of major development from them, but that is all part of the context of what is going on here.
And Alex Rossi, to you in Beirut, Hezbollah has said this strike was phase one in retaliation for the killing of that military commander. So what do you think we can expect next from where you are?
Lebanon.
Well, I think that is, it's a really, really good question. And I don't think anybody apart from Hassan Nasrallah and senior people within Hezbollah really know the answer to that. Certainly they're talking about this being phase one. Part of Nasrallah's strategy has been to keep up the sort of temperature of psychological warfare against the Israelis, to try and keep them guessing. We certainly think that for today, this is over. There will be no more attacks. We've actually heard in the last few minutes from Hassan Nasrallah's spokesperson saying that Israel didn't disrupt an attack at all, and what Hezbollah has done today was actually successful. So you'll have basically twin narratives from the Israeli side, them saying they're superior intelligence,
that military-industrial complex
launch
is
a
red
preemptive
hot right
strike.
now in Germany.
Israel itself has suffered very little damage, and they managed to take out or blunt the spear that Hezbollah was pointing at the Jewish state. Hezbollah, for their part, will say, well, this was a successful operation to avenge the assassination of their senior commander.
I could see that.
And that they succeeded in doing that. Now, Hassan...
And it's like a different person from a different country every couple years, and everyone gets a chance. But it needs to be toothless. Like, we can't have a single individual with the ability to tell countries across the world to do whatever. It has to be merely for communication purposes, right? Like I'm the person that's going to tell, okay, we had this massive discussion, hundreds of people, leaders from all over the world. This is kind of what happened. This is, the guy to put in front of a camera to kind of distill, the global parliament, right? So a communications person, right? But that, because we can't have a situation where like we create a global parliament, right? And then one bad actor, United States, China, Russia, whatever, becomes a prime minister. It's like, all right, well, you guys signed the documents and now you got to do what I say. Like, no, that's not the spirit of what we're trying to, it's a spirit of cooperation, not a spirit of creating a mass hierarchy, right?
Nasrallah is likely to kind of echo those sentiments later. He's due to speak sometime, we think this afternoon, in Lebanon. But of course, the danger is that this cycle of escalation continues and gets much worse. And as Ali was saying, there will be people within the Israeli government who will say, actually, the time now is really to take the offensive to Hezbollah, push them back from the border so that our people can move back into those communities in the north of the country, back to their homes. But the fear is, of course, you would have the possibility of igniting a much bigger war rather than the low-level war we've seen between Hezbollah and Israel since October the 8th, them trading fire almost on a daily basis. So that's the big danger.
I would be okay with Bibi Netanyahu being a prime minister, if the goal of the global parliament's prime minister was, it's total, we're like, this, I'm not even paying attention to the news segment. But we're talking about this global parliament. It's a very interesting idea. I'd be okay with Bibi Netanyahu doing that. But you see, if it was a totally toothless position and it was really just about communication about, what was happening, Bibi Netanyahu's of the world would have no interest in it, right? And that's okay. That's fine, right? So it'd be kind of interesting. But if it did have actual power, then all the sociopaths, psychopaths would try to be the head of the fucking organization and corrupt it however they can, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
At the moment, I think the other big question, of course, is where this leads the ceasefire talks. It may be that this round of fighting is over.
I think there's going to be more missiles.
Have been trying to present an optimistic face, despite officials around the talks being fairly negative that they will have a breakthrough.
All right,
but perhaps it will move in that direction.
Bulletproof. Will you admit that you are speaking from your own personal experience and you might not be speaking for all Germans? Will you at least admit that?
And of course, if we saw a ceasefire in Gaza, that would take the sting out of a lot of what we have seen so far. Hezbollah has claimed since this began that it has launched these attacks on Israel in support of its ally Hamas in Gaza. So if the fighting there stops, you could see an end to the fighting on the northern border and a resumption of some kind of calm. That said, the red lines that were drawn after 2006, the war that was fought between Israel and Lebanon, they have been completely destroyed. And at some point, that kind of deterrent is going to have to be restored on both sides. The question is, will it be restored diplomatically, or will it have to be restored by a larger outbreak of violence? And we don't know.
There's going to be more missiles. There's going to be more, because we've already done this, go around. So this isn't even an escalation yet.
She is amazing.
I saw this article. I saw this. Okay, real quick. I have to show that. I saw this queued up in Sky News. We got to talk about this amazing elderly woman, one of the oldest women, still alive, 102. It looks like she served, probably fucking fought Nazis, dog. And here she is celebrating her 102nd by jumping out of an airplane. Truly an amazing person. So, it's 2-minute video. Let's watch it. I can't help myself.
She is amazing. Minette Bailey served in the Women's Royal Naval Service and was herself married to a paratrooper. And not only is she celebrating her birthday today, she's also raising money for charity with this.
Keep calm and carry on, baby.
Jump.
Oh,
and
she's
we
a
caught up
cutie.
with her earlier, just before the skydive.
And I'm about to go up. I'm delighted.
Still gonna slam her?
Don't stop. Just keep going. And
I can't. My mind is so fucked. My mind is so fucked, dog.
This jump, and we caught up with her earlier, just before the skydive.
Just keep going.
I'm about to go up. I'm delighted. Don't stop. Just keep going. And in the words of my very old friend Humphrey Scrimgeour, when he was in his 90s, he said, "Manette, whatever happens, don't give up until you're forced to. So don't give up anything until you're absolutely forced to."
Wow. Wow.
What a great message. And here she is, Manette, taking the plunge. She jumped out of the plane.
Wow.
It was around 20 minutes ago. She was in the air over Beccles Airfield for just over 5 minutes. And what a day for it. Actually, is that quite cloudy? It's hard to tell. But still, we've got a very clear view of her there.
Show the
Big
landing.
crowd below, all cheering her on.
It's probably a little rough.
And we've actually got
Poor
pictures
thing.
of her
There
coming
it
to
is.
land. There we go.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, look at that. Gentle as I saw one of these stories. It was like 6 months ago, maybe. It was a while ago. The landing was kind of hard. They were doing one of these, like, senior citizen kind of doing a skydiving thing. And he came in super, he like face planted, dude. It was nasty. But no, this guy, total pro, knows exactly what he's doing.
There we go.
Look at this. Scoops right in there. Heck
102 years
yeah.
old, Anna, and on her 100th birthday, she drove a Ferrari around the racetrack at 130 miles an hour.
This chick
daredevil.
rocks.
And this was the latest challenge. And I mean,
This
hats
chick
off. I couldn't do
rocks.
that. That is amazing.
You can
There she is.
see how happy she was straight away.
Oh, that's great.
I'm fascinated to hear how she found it.
What a special moment, a really special
Yeah,
moment.
here are the latest pictures. Look at her there.
Just an inspiration to
that
so
is
many
just
others.
amazing.
Doesn't matter whatever age you are, and with the Paralympics coming up, doesn't matter what disability you've got, you never know what you can achieve in life. And
that is so amazing.
Manette
What a
showing
beautiful
everybody
person.
that
What a
age
beautiful
is no number.
Absolutely. No barrier at all. And look at that. Record winning.
Okay, let's do a fucking advertisement for the skydiving company. All right, whatever, fine. You know what? Whatever. Plug that shit.
Manette Bailey, what an extraordinary woman.
Okay, and we will this video right here is queued the fuck up. Okay, we will be talking about the UK, the economy, and the goddamn Labour Party. What the fuck, Labour Party? Okay, so we will be talking about that next weekend, UK news. So you can expect that on the News Underground. We're not giving this fucking Labour pseudo neoliberal a break. Okay. Oh, we just got in. Oh, now we're gonna give you some hard truths. Yeah. Okay. How about tax the rich, Keir? How about tax the rich? Oh, how dare you? We would never do that. Never even consider it. Yeah, that's your problem, dog. Take it out of the manifesto. Tell everybody we got to eat some poison pills. You're not telling your billionaire buddies they got to eat some poison pills. You're not even talking about Brexit. You embarrassment. Fix your shit, Keir. We didn't put you in there. To fuck us over harder. So if there's some hard news, oh, the economy's even worse, the Tories really fucked it up. Well, there's some billionaire Tories that need to pay up. I don't want to be 102 in a wheelchair talking with a laptop. Well, you need to exercise. You need to take care of yourself. You need to get out. You need to be active every single day. That's the only way. You use it or you lose it. That's how the human body works. Right? No other way around it. Can't even touch the issue of Brexit. The EU hates the UK. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it because, like, it's okay. He was like, okay, we're not going to talk about Brexit. People are tired of talking about Brexit. It's bad electorally. I'm not going to win the election if we talk about Brexit. It's strategic. I'm not going to do it. Okay, fine. You're a fucking Machiavelli. Fine. You're in office. You won. Can we talk about Brexit now? You know? Oh, no. Now's not the time. Now's not the time to talk about the disastrous event that precedes everything else. Now's not the time, huh? To talk about the fucking X factor that created the suffering. Okay, no. My re-election. It never ends. Anyway, so we will be talking about the UK. We will be talking about Keir. I'm not happy. I'm disappointed. But he's got lots of time to turn this around. You know, maybe I got misconceptions. Maybe I'm wrong here. I'm sure if Leon was here, he'd be talking some shit right now. Leon's a friend from UK. Haven't seen much of him since the election. Maybe he's out living his life. I was against Brexit, but the EU now is a sinking ship. No, the fuck it isn't. It's not perfect. It's not great. It's not like, but it's worth fixing. It's worth reforming. The solution isn't to pull away from treaties and discussions, for God's sakes. It's to make more. It's to strengthen them, make them more beneficial for everybody. Compromise and make deals, not give up, throw it away, and then put up a fucking wall. Oh, dude, this Android getting McFucked. Okay. Anyway, folks, I'm Audi 5000. That's all I got for today. This has been the News Underground. I am Abandoned Nihilism, the realest motherfucker on Twitch, bar none. News Underground's the #1 source for news when I stream, which isn't every day. I'm sorry. I got a disabled kid to take care of. But no, thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been a great discussion. You guys rock. The best chat on Twitch, the motherfucking regulators. That's who you are. You're the regulators. All right? Best Twitch chat easily. You could go up toe-to-toe with any clown in the Hassan chat, Destiny chat, Boss chat, toe-to-toe. Each one of you. I know you could. I believe in you. But big props to you. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you to the lurkers. I probably can't show dead, naked people in bags on Twitch. That's probably a bad thing. But no, big props. Pompous, just popped in at the end there, but big props to you, Pompous. Big props to Sir Smoke-A-Lot. It's here from the very beginning. Big props to Thinking Sabercat. Great comments, great links, great participation. Make sure you check out the Discord. I think you're going to like it. You're a link-heavy guy. I think you're going to like the Discord. Check it out. Off-World Colonist, you're awesome. Bulletproof, Bullet, you're great. I love that picture, too. If you don't know, Bulletproof's Bullet, his avatar, his profile picture is... I think it's from World War I, or is it from World War II? But it's this one in a trillion event where two bullets collided in midair and one bullet pierced the other one. Just an insane, moment of lead flying. Just tells you how many bullets were flying. Were two bullets colliding against each other. It's a really crazy story. Look it up. Yeah, the two bullets. It's from World War I. Yeah, wow. Yeah, and he vaporwaved it. Very nice. Clutch Cargo, big props to you. Thank you for coming back. Always love seeing you, Clutch Cargo. And actually, if check out, type Conan O'Brien and Clutch Cargo into Google. Really funny stuff. Really funny stuff. So thank you for being here, Clutch Cargo. Big props to Simply Steve 2012. Thank you for coming in. Good to see you coming back. New user, like your Space Weed, like your image. That's very cool. Crail of Xanath, stirring the pot. Thank you, Crail of Xanath, for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, by the way, to everybody that was here yesterday. I did not have time to give everyone props. Hey, we got Gorps Inc. over here. Gorps is a fellow political streamer. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to Gorps Inc. Solid dude. He was, has a sense of humor. I can't help but respect Gorps, even though he's a psychopathic Zoomer. What can you do? Nobody's perfect. But hey, I really like Gorps. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Miss Anki, I think I've seen you before. Peace in the mutual aromatic roots. I like what you say, so big props to you, Miss Anki. Thank you for coming in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Chem Goblin, of course. Thank you, Chem Goblin, for coming in. Do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Who else in this chat that I need to say thank you to? All the lurkers, of course. Oh my God, Sticks. You're amazing. Thank you, Oh my God, Sticks. Of course, we got Ice King of Space. Lovely to see you. What the fuck is this? Unknown Force, thank you for coming in. Just popping in real quick, looks like. Just to pop in real quick, say something, and leave. This guy's eating a cheeseburger. Makes me hungry. Ford the Perfect, thank you for coming back. Ford the Perfect. Estonian, I missed your comment. Sorry, Estonian. Thank you for coming. Oh, my God. Okay, that was Coca-Cola. Okay. That was Coca-Cola, folks. That is soda pop, okay? Thank you again, everybody. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East, and glory to the Ukrainian democracy. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you for coming in, Smash. Need a schedule. Yeah. Tell my son that. Tell my son that we need a schedule. But no, thank you for coming in. Fuck Ukraine's. Oh no. Goodbye, Pompous. Talk to you later. Bye. No. Free Ukraine. Fuck Russia. Get your motherfucking pro-Russian bullshit out of here. No one's buying it. No, thank you for coming in. Big props to Smash. We'll see you next time. Peace in that motherfucking Middle East and glory to the Ukrainian democracy. Thank you.